What's going on, everyone? It's Mike, it's John back again. John has just come out of Stars in Your Eyes. He's been loving life to the fullest. John, match preview, Wolverhampton Wanderers away, tough game. Everton coming off the back of 2 defeats, but I'd argue encouraging defeats. You know, we've probably been done by VAR in both games rather than being really, really poor. So, 3-0 Everton in this game. What do you think, John?
Well, we've had worse defeats, haven't we, where we played a lot worse than what we've played in them 2 games. You know, if you look at the 2 games as a whole, we've probably had a really, really good half in each game. It's not as if, you know, we've laid down and had our bellies tickled against 2 very good teams. But listen, going into the Wolves game, by any stretch of the imagination, is this game going to be easy? But I say this now a lot more often than what I always have. I go into a lot of games more confident now because I know the performances that we're capable of. You know, the second half against Tottenham, we keep going on about it because I thought it was exceptional. Probably one of the best halves of football we've played under Sean Dyche. As I said last night on the match debrief from the Man City game, first half I thought we were very good. Not as good as the second half against Tottenham, but you know, there's no shame in that against one of the best teams in the world, against Man City. They stepped up again and showed their class years ahead of Everton. But I think if we play to the capabilities that we have been recently, especially with our away form, I think we can get something.
I completely agree, John. And as you'll see here, so these are our away performances. You might not be able to read this because you've got terrible eyesight and you're just generally quite old, but you know, you can clearly see there that Everton in the last 5 games, they've not conceded many away goals at all. They've conceded 4, and bearing in mind we've kept 3 clean sheets in that, and we've scored a decent amount of goals in that. We go into this game, I'd argue, confident that we should get a result. Wolves are unbeaten, I believe, in their last 5 games at home, which, you know, is challenging. But there's no reason we can't get a result, John.
As I said, if we put a performance in that we're capable of, you know, I'm confident. I am confident that we can get something. Listen, I've always said this, Michael, you should win your home games. And if you can pick up the odd win away, or more than the odd win, and, you know, get minimum a draw in a good few of them. But so, you know, I would take a point tomorrow, but I do think we're capable of getting through. I do, you know, if we play to our capabilities, I think there's more chance of us getting 3 points than coming away with a draw.
Yeah, well, I also made sure that I did a little bit of digging around you know, some of the XG and some of the expected goals. But, you know, when I look at Everton in almost every remit, they're expecting goals in this game. They're expecting probably a tough game for both teams. And if you look at here, you know, they're predicting that there's going to be near enough 3 goals in this game on average. You know, there's going to be loads of corners. There's going to be loads of aggression. Loads of cards. So what they're all saying statistically is this game's going to be open. It's going to be ferocious. It's going to be 2 teams. You know, Wolves are going to play quite pretty football, and Everton are going to be solid at the back and hit them on the counter. And all of the, you know, the stats and the matrix and all of that stuff, the XG and all that, it looks positive for Everton. You know, even in the games we struggled with at the start of the season, the XG was good, but now it looks like we're starting to score chances. I mean, you know, taking the Man City game out of the equation, where chances for Everton were probably fairly limited, although they still scored 1 and they probably should have scored another 2. But anyway, we scored 1. But against Tottenham away, we scored 2 perfectly good goals, or whether you disagree with the one because me and you thought it was a foul, but there was 2 decent finishes there, and the game could arguably have finished 2-2. So we're scoring now.
Yeah, we're not. Listen, from the beginning of the season, you know, from when we played Wolves, where we battered them, I've always been one of the people where the XG looks good if you convert the XG into goals. Yeah. And our goal ratio should be sort of matched to the XG if we had someone who was scoring consistently in that goal. And that's what worries me about the XG. You know, we can create the chances we can create at Tottenham, whether it was a foul or not. You know, we scored one good goal.
Yeah.
Some people will look at it, we scored 2 good goals. But the XG means nothing if you don't take them chances. And at the minute, we've got centre forwards who aren't taking chances. So we're looking everywhere else around the team to convert them XG chances. And we're not. If we could get, you know, half of them expected goals in every game, we'd be flying. But unfortunately, we haven't got someone who's consistent enough. It's all right creating the chances. We need someone to put the ball where it matters, and we're not doing it consistently with the players who should be, whether it be the strikers, whether it be the midfielders chipping in with goals. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Are you worried about us as well from a defensive perspective? Because, you know, on the flip side, you know, we've scored goals recently and we've done all right. But in the last 2 games, we've conceded 5.
We have conceded 5, but if you look at the 2 teams we've conceded the 5 against, you know, them teams are very, very good going forward. They've got good attacking players, good wide players, good strikers. So they will hurt most teams, Tottenham and Man City. So, yeah, it is a bit of a blow that we've lost 2 on the run. But I said this a couple of weeks ago, the way Everton are playing, they don't look like the sort of team where they're going to go on this run where we can't get a win from anywhere and you start losing 2, 3, 4, 5 on the bounce. I don't think that will happen to Everton. So we go into a game against Wolves. Listen, I said at the beginning of the video, by no stretch of the imagination is it going to be easy. But it's going to be, no disrespect to Wolves, it should be easier than what City and Tottenham were. So,
yeah. You know, you can see there, John, you know, defensively, we're better than Wolves this season in terms of Everton being away. We've conceded 1.44 goals per game, where Wolves have conceded 1.56 goals at home.
Yeah.
So Everton are more than capable of limiting Wolves to chances and getting a couple of goals themselves. They've got some dangerous players. You know, it's fair to say that I think it's He-Chan. He's playing really good football at the minute. I think he's just signed a new deal. He's always been a player that's actually caused Everton problems. He caused us problems at home this season. He caused us problems last season. The season before, he actually managed to make me and you have an absolute full-blown argument because he was the player that kept on going down, getting up, going down, getting back up and frustrating us really bad. And he's a player that I am worried about. But I do think as long as we can nullify him and Sarabia and some of the other, you know, they've got a lot of good technical players, Wolves, Neto. As long as you can keep them quiet, I honestly feel good going into this game that Everton will get a result. It's just VAR, and the problem is with VAR now.
This is really bad from me. I'm not sure which side Chan plays on, because that makes a big difference to me.
Yeah, whether it's left or right.
Yeah, because if it's on their right, running at Mikalenko's been fantastic this season. You know, we've already seen him had Salah in his pocket. If he plays on their left, attacking our right fullback, we don't know who that's going to be. Does he bring Young? Is Young fit? I don't think he's quite there yet. You know, is Coleman ready, or does he stick with Patterson? It makes so much of a difference for the opposition, for us, when we don't know who's going to be playing at right back. That's what worries me. Yeah. But you say Neto's been playing really well lately, but we have got players there, whether it be the centre-halves who can stop him creating chances, whether it can be the midfield sort of making him have a quiet game. We have got players who are capable of doing that. It just depends which Everton turn up. Do we see the Everton from the second half, Tottenham, first half at City? Do we see Everton from where we were on the really good run since we've had being hit with the 10-point deduction, or do we see the Everton from the second half performance against City, which again, I will reiterate, is no great shame, but I just hope we haven't got a hangover from that going into this game.
Yeah,
I don't think Dyche lets this Everton team have that mentality.
This is what I've worried about a little bit, Johnny, if I'm being honest, because, you know, we drew at home to Fulham. We then lost to Spurs. In the manner that we lost, we played really well, but we still lost. Then, you know, the manner that we lose against Man City. And then, obviously, all the fans see that VAR decision from not last night, was it last night? And then they see what we got 4 days before with the same player in a penalty area. The game's going to be quite hostile because Wolves also don't have a good relationship with VAR and the officials. So this game is a bit of a, you know, if ever there was a game to make a statement for the Premier League and for the PGMOL, it is this one. I wanted to ask you a question away from this Wolves preview. If Everton got blatantly robbed in a game, which we have done this season, and decisions haven't gone our way, as a fan, would you accept the players walking off the pitch?
Yeah.
I'll give you my answer.
1,000,000%, yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd back it all day. I'd back the players walking off the pitch, and I'd back the fans walking out the ground. I'd back the fans, and I know you can't really take it out on your team, but I'd back fans of these clubs who are getting absolutely bummed by VAR and VAR decisions and stupid, rubbish referees. I'd back fans to vote with their feet and not bother. You know, I think as a club now, if we get done over again by a VAR situation this weekend against a team who's been done over by VAR quite a bit this season, I know Palace have had a few, so there is quite a few teams now, and we've heard their fans singing the same songs that we've been singing since the 10-point deduction. We have to make a stance against it, and we can't be quiet about it. And what I was going to say to you then was, again, we're doing a match preview, and this isn't a pop at you because I totally agree with you, but you're saying in the match preview again, you're not really worried about Everton not getting a result. You're worried about VAR doing us over.
Yeah,
and we shouldn't be going into games like that.
Yeah, but this is what people, you know, this is what people have said that I've been negative about, and I sit there and I am not negative with the way Everton Football Club are playing football. I'm not negative with Sean Dyche. I'm really happy with Sean Dyche. He's proved me wrong. I'm really happy with some of these players. I felt like we're starting to see more of Harrison, so he's proved my criticism correct in a sense that he can do more because he's showing he can do more. So all of the positives around Everton are great, but I go into every game now concerned about VAR decisions that are not in our hands. You know, Everton can do the sweat on their backs, work their socks off, and decimate teams. They can dominate teams if they want. They can hit them on the break all day long. Whatever they want to do, however they set up, is fine by me because I trust them 100%. But the one thing those 11 players and the substitutes haven't got, the one thing Sean Dyche hasn't got, the one thing us as fans have not got is control over VAR. And until somebody takes the refereeing world and the VAR world to bang to rights, it's never going to change until fans of football clubs with the heritage of Everton Football Club, of Wolverhampton Wanderers, of Nottingham Forest, of Aston Villa, of, you know, clubs that aren't in the Big Six anymore. We're not in the Big Six, but heritage-wise, English football-wise, some of the clubs I've just mentioned there, Leeds United as well, when they were in the Premier League, and, you know, there's loads of clubs. When you sit there and you look about what they've won, what they've achieved, how big they are, their fan bases, their global revenue, all of those things, they're not small clubs. So the moment those clubs start voting with their feet and saying, nah, enough's enough of this. Enough is enough. Do it. Throw the game. We've already proven We've already proven that we can take a 10 points deduction and be fine. And I'm fairly confident we could probably take another 6, even probably 9. I'm that confident we'll stay up this season. I think this team, with this manager, are playing so well. I am confident that we could take another points deduction and still cope. Not 10. 10 would be too much, but 6, yeah. So if you're going to get a 3-point deduction for walking off the pitch in a game where you've already been done by a referee and you're 2-0 down or you're 1-0 down, away at Anfield with Chiarte with his second yellow card, we don't get it. Walk off the pitch. Walk off the pitch, because it's that blatant now. It's that obvious. If they're going to try and show us up and make us feel like shit, then we need to start acting on it. We need to start pouting at our chest, giving it the big un, and say, don't get Dermot Gallagher on your Sky ref's view and all of this. And he goes, 1 week, he goes, yeah, it's a penalty. 1 week, it's not a penalty. He goes the week after, that's a shirt pull in the box. That's a penalty. That's a shirt pull for Everton in a box. That's not a penalty. Scrap all of that shit. This started 6 years ago when Oumar Niasse was given a red card for diving. This has been going on for years, so there's no way anymore Everton Football Club should tolerate it. And to be quite honest, I'm disappointed that Everton haven't made more of a stand out of this. And I know why they haven't. I get why they haven't, because, they're going to keep stum for the time being and the 10-point deduction and all that. But the moment that results come back and the moment some of those points get lifted, I want Everton to release the strongest statement, stronger than they did for the Super League. I want them to issue the strongest statement possible and basically warn the PGMOL, warn the Premier League that the next time these guys make really dodgy decisions, like it's absolutely blatant robbery, they're going to walk off that pitch. And I will back them 100%. I'll even walk out with them. I'll walk out with them.
You see, the thing is, I totally agree with everything you've just said, but then our Everton Football Club adding fuel to the fire, because we know that they don't want us in the Premier League. So if we do something like that, I totally agree with you. I'm not saying it's wrong what you're saying. I 1,000,000% agree with you that we should do that. But we're just feeding them, aren't we, then, if we start doing things like that?
Yeah, but you don't fulfill a fixture. You get a 3-point ban. You only have to do it once on live telly in front of the world, and everyone will talk about it. Only do it once. You can't. Fans can't be going. Oof. Can't do that. We need to be going, do you know what? We're walking out, lads. We're going. We're done.
You see, I think this situation that Everton are in now with VAR, you're quite right with what you say. We're keeping stum at the minute, and we're not doing nothing about what's going against us, because we've got this here and hanging over us, and we're waiting to see what happens with that and what the results are of that, and if and how many points we get back. I get that, and I do get that. But what worries me, Michael, is if we got people at the club who will actually make a stance against the PGMOL and the Premier League and the FA, because as a football club, and we've said this for a long time, we've agreed with this, we're quiet. We're so quiet. We just accept the shit that's, I know it's a different thing with the 10-point deduction, because obviously you've got to show some sort of fight to see how many points you can get back. But when it comes to other things, whether it be on the pitch, we've got quiet players who don't surround the referee, and we spoke about this last night on the Man City debrief. Man City were getting decisions against them or what have you, and they were surrounding the referee. As a club, whether it be on the pitch or whether it be in the boardroom or whether it be in the offices of Goodison Park, we're very quiet as a club. So now, what you said before, we need to make a stance on this now. If this VAR situation and this vendetta that they've set out against Everton Football Club and its fans, if they carry on like that, then we do have to do something about it. But the timing's got to be right. And if we don't, and if whether we get 5 points back, 6 points back, no points back, whatever it may be, right? If this VAR continued situation carries on against Everton, and these decisions that are given against us as a club, if our club don't do nothing about it and stand up for the fans and stand up for themselves, then there's something seriously wrong. We have the wrong people running the club. We have the wrong people running the club.
I honestly think it's got to the point now where it's criminally negligent.
They don't even try to hide it.
I think the fans forum should get involved. I think all of the fan channels should get involved. I think there should be a sit-down meeting with the club, with all of us, say 100 people, open mic session, right, where we can speak to the club and we can ask them what is going on with VAR, with the PGMOL, and why are you allowing us to just roll over? Because the fans will prove that they'll fight for this club. We've proved it for the last 3 years, keeping you in the Premier League. I'll be the first one to say, 2 years ago, when we were 2-0 down against Palace, that season under Lampard, it wasn't Lampard that kept us in the league. It was the fans. It was the flares. It was the chanting. It was meeting the coaches. And whether you disagreed with it or agreed with it at the time, it all added fight. All fight. This football club, the fan base is amazing. We know how to fight. We know how to stand together. And I am telling you now, I will 100% back Sean Dyche and those players to walk off the pitch next time they get done. Honestly, I'll back it 100%. And I'm telling you, I'll walk out with them. I'll back them to the end of the earth and beyond. Because we're Everton Football Club. We're not mugs. We're, up until the Premier League, Everton were the second most successful team or third most successful team in English football. Don't try and mug us off, because I've had enough of it.
Well, this is the thing, what you're saying there. And when we got hit with this 10-point deduction, there was loads of Everton fans. Every Everton fan I know said it. They've messed about with the wrong club here. They've upset the wrong club. They've upset the wrong fan base, because I'm telling you now, we don't take that. We don't take that. And it's been proven, how much we've got behind the team, and, the way you're speaking from the heart and as a true blue, and the way you're feeling about it, the way I am, and the way every Everton fan is. There's no fan base like this in the world, mate. I had Frankie saying to me today, as I said last night, we're going to Wolves, and I think we've got like 3,200 fans going tomorrow or something like that. And he's 11 years of age, and he said to me, do you know what, Dad? He said, we've got the best fans in the world. He said, for everything we've had to put up with in the last 2 years, we've got the 10-point deduction. We haven't won a trophy since 1995. He said, and the person who sorts us out for tickets, him alone's got 3 coach loads going tomorrow. He said, we're the best fans in the world. He's 11 years of age, and he's like you. He hasn't seen us win a trophy. And you know what? He hit the nail on the head. And you've just spoke out the heart there with everything you've just said. He's feeling like that at 11 years of age.
Yeah. So I've gone on ranting, and I'm sorry about that. Should we leave with score predictions, John? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Do you think Takore starts?
If he's fit, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I don't know how fit he is. To be fair, I haven't listened to Sean. I don't really watch Sean Dyche's press conference. To be fair, I don't know how fit he is, but as you quite rightly said last night, a 60% Takore start for me.
Yeah,
give him an hour. Give him an hour. Just give him an hour. If he's struggling or we're in the game or we're winning, look, hopefully by a couple of goals after an hour, take him off and don't burn him out and don't rush him back too quick, because we can't afford to lose players like Abdullah Takore for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. We can't.
Yeah. What's your score prediction?
2-1 Everton.
I'll go 2-0 Everton.
I'll take any of them.
I'm telling you, if all the people that sat there and said, Mike, you're negative, watch this video, I'd very quickly change their opinions, but they won't, so don't worry about it. But all I'm going to say is...
I can't actually remember the last time you predicted us to lose.
City? But it wasn't because of us, it was because of VAR.
Yeah, but before that, I can't even remember. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing now, you know, people have a pop at us about being negative, you especially, and that's no dig at you. More of the comments are aimed at you, but people more have a pop at me for certain individuals I pick out. But it's not the team as a whole that we're having a pop at. It's certain individuals from my side and are struggling to score goals. And it's Michael's side, as he quite rightly said. He goes into games not knowing how we're going to get done over this game. But me and Michael are doing these previews lately, actually with a spring in our step, because I know we're sounding negative on it. We're not sounding negative. I think we're speaking for the majority of the Everton fans. There's always one or two in the comments who probably only see the little clips of the video and don't watch the whole video through and don't see emotional features, what Michael's just said or what I said about what Frankie said to me today. Watch the whole videos through before you have a pop at me or Michael in the comments. And I said this last night, but it's no good watching 2 minutes, 3 minutes and just picking the negative bit out and then having a pop at us. Because me and Michael have a spring in our step doing these match previews lately because we know.
If I drive 220 miles round trip to watch us play, and if I think a player has had a bad performance, I have every right to say he's had a bad performance.
Yeah, and this
it's
is
not personal. I'm not wishing ill on his family. I'm not wishing ill on him. I'm just saying he had a bad game. And that can change the week after when he has a good game. You know,
well, this is the thing. I remember, well, a couple of months gone by, me and you not had a heated debate, but you had your feelings on Decore and I have mine. And,
yeah,
you know, Decore's changed your mind. It wasn't a heated discussion. It was a good discussion because I rate Decore, whereas he was pissing you off. Do you know what I mean? But you've seen it, whereas reverse that. I've said about Anana, I'm still unsure, and I will still say it until I'm blue in the face, until he proves me otherwise. Whereas you think more than me that there's more of a player in there than what I'm seeing. So it's all about opinions, and whether Michael's driving 220 mile or I'm doing a 10-mile round trip from my house to Goodison, everyone's entitled to an opinion. I couldn't give a shit if you live on Gladys Street or you live in Birmingham. You're entitled to.
I tell you what, right? If you was in your car, I think it's well known that John is a taxi driver. Right? I think it's well known. Everyone knows John is a taxi driver. If John pulled out on someone and did some bad driving, would you not expect the passenger to say that was a bit shit?
Yeah, shit driver, him.
Of course you would.
Yeah. He's not wishing ill on me or my family. He's just saying I'm a shit driver.
Exactly, because tomorrow you might be a great driver.
Yeah. We all make mistakes driving, and I passed when I was 1997. But I say when I was 97 then.
You passed when I was 5. Right. Anyway, we've digressed. We've got aggressive. I've got aggressive. I've lost my head. John's not lost his head. How has John been calmer than me?
I tell you what, it's been like that for a good few months now.
I am losing it. I'm going to the football. I'm sitting in my seat. I'm being told to shut up. Stewards are saying, Mike, calm down. It's bad. I hate the referees. Cameron, to be fair to him today, he does these shorts. Cameron from the Mighty Blues, he does these shorts on Twitter, and he come out and he's basically said, you know, the biggest, most egotistical person on that pitch is the referee. Yeah. I couldn't agree with him more. Agree with him more. And part of that, I understand, because they've got to be the biggest egotistical person on that pitch. But secondly, they've also been hiding now. They hide behind VAR because they go, oh, that's not a foul. And then it goes to VAR and they're like, oh, yeah, it is a foul. But it wasn't a foul. It isn't a foul. You know, I sit there and I think there is genuinely people out there that must sit there on the recordings, on the headpieces, and go, there was a pull on an Everton player in the box there. Do we want to take it back to have a look at it? Yeah. Kulinevsky pulls his shirt. No penalty. It's Everton. That's it. That's what happens. That's it.
And that's exactly what it's looking and sounding like at the minute, isn't it?
Because for Brighton, it's like Kulineski's pulled Brighton player's shirt. Yeah, pulled it. Yeah, in the box. Corner. Yeah, penalty to Brighton.
Where's the difference, apart from it being Everton and Brighton? Because there was absolutely... Listen, we've all seen the stills on it all over social media. It's exactly the same situation. It's so it's so obvious now.
It's terrible.
That they're not even trying to hide it. And we're talking about this now more in our previews. I think obviously we'll have to see how it goes with each game. But I think if we're going to talk about things like this now, it should be more in the debrief, because we're finding now that we're talking about it in every video we do. And it's frustrating you, it's frustrating me.
The problem I have, John, is I can't sit there and give you a score prediction. Because
I know.
My score prediction is 2-0, but it would not surprise me whatsoever if we lose the game. But we lose the game because VAR send off an Everton player for no reason, or we don't get a penalty. Do you know, we're the last team yet again to not get a penalty, and
but we've given 5 away,
and we've given 5 penalties away.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I mean, it's not as if they're trying to hide the fact now. It's just smacked it in the face, doesn't it?
The two that have done me was the Chiarte yellow card at Anfield, when it was a blatant yellow and he doesn't give it. And the other one, the one that's got me, is this Spurs one. Because it's 4 days apart.
I know, that's the one that's got me going, to be fair. You know, I mean, even Klopp, to his credit, knew that VAR had messed up in that game, because straight after that decision, he took Chiarte off.
Yeah.
Because, I know. So, you know, even Klopp seeing it now. And listen, we've got Michael speaks to other fan channels and stuff. And obviously we all speak to fans from other clubs and that. And even them are saying now, they're not even trying to hide this bias that they've got against Everton now and this vendetta. When you've got fans from other clubs, and when you've got other fan channels from other clubs that they represent saying to me and Michael, it's just blatantly obvious now, something is seriously wrong.
I'm leaving it there, because I honestly could speak about this for hours.
And we've got FIFA to play.
I've got FIFA to play. I've got John to beat sexually. Right. I will see you all for the match reaction tomorrow. It may be slightly later, just for some logistical issues. Johnny's going the game, so if you're there, go and say hello to him. He'll have his lad with him, Frankie. Frankie hasn't seen us lose yet, has he?
No, he's looking at Anfield.
Oh, no, we can scrap that, because again, VAR done us there. We would have got a point in that game if it weren't for VAR.
The away game that sticks out for Frankie, and every time this team are on the telly and they're playing at home, can't wait to watch them, and it's West Ham. Yeah. That for him. We were there all weekend. We made a weekend trip of it. We done an overnight coach, and he'll never forget that. We stayed over in Maidenhead, which was closer to Southampton than as West Ham. But it was a boss night, and then we went the game and we got the result, and he absolutely loved that. And apart from obviously going over the park to the other side, I think he is our lucky omen for the away game. So hopefully it continues tomorrow.
Absolutely. Guys, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah. Up the toughies.